No.
Okay, good evening, everybody, and everybody in attendance. I'm so happy to see so many friends here to attend our Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting today.
Awesome.
The time is now 6 o'clock, but before we get kicked off here, we are absent of our chairman and vice chair. So a little bit of housekeeping. We do need to do a motion and a vote on a chair pro tem or acting chair for this meeting. I'll turn it over to the board to have that discussion.
Okay, I move to have Jason Alberici sit in as the pro tem chairman tonight.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Unanimously.
Ms. Pro Tem, you can take it away.
Excellent. Good evening. Welcome to the August 15th Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. We'll call the meeting to order with roll. Morgan,
Present.
Scott,
Here.
Ralph,
Present.
what am I doing? Allison,
Present.
and we'll note that Stephanie is not here, as well as Scott Stahusky. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tom, I assume we want to move the first part of 8A up in the agenda? Is that correct?
Yes, you can move, you can move that item wherever you'd like, maybe after public comment.
Perfect. So I will take a motion to move new business item 8A on the agenda up to public, after public comment, after 5.
I make a motion to move new business 8A to after public comment.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. And now I'll take a motion to approve the past meeting minutes. Sorry. Take a motion to approve the meeting agenda with the addition of 8A being moved up.
I'll move to approve the new meeting agenda, moving 8A up.
A motion by Allison,
I second the motion.
second by Ralph. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. And then approval of the past meeting minutes. I know these came out via email, but I'll give a second to check them over from the June 24th meeting. Any changes to the meeting minutes?
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the last meeting.
A motion by Morgan to approve minute,
I'll second that.
and second by Allison. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so moved. All right, moving along here. Item 5, public comment.
We do not have any public comment cards submitted.
All right. So that puts us to the induction of the junior rangers and badge ceremony.
Look at these little cuties. I'm back. I missed you guys last month.
We missed you too.
We got to get crew.
I got a little slideshow for you because these kids were really great last month. So the month of July, we had a 4-week Junior Ranger Academy session. 16 kids joined us, a morning session and an evening session. And I'm here today to welcome them as junior rangers. But first, I want to tell you what they accomplished. Okay?
Excellent.
So we learned a little bit about pond ecology. On the last day, we invited our friend Sandra, the city arborist. She took us around the arboretum and taught us about trees, right? Some of them are seeing themselves. How exciting. We took a wildlife observation hike on the first day. Raise your hand if you put your hand in the moss. Magnus, you did. Yeah, we love touching the moss. On the second day, we went fishing at Mayfield. Raise your hand if you caught a fish. We caught so many fish. We were super excited. So if you had a good time, raise your hand. All right. So I'm going to invite them up with their parents because we're going to go over the pledge. We're going to pin them and we're all going to take a photo and be super
Excellent.
excited about what they do next. They're waiting for my next program. So
That's
we'll see.
excellent. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
So if you guys want to come on up.
What a great little turnout. I love that. Right though.
Parents can stand behind you. So if you notice, some of them have badges already, because that means this is a lifestyle for them. Either that or they're going to have my job, which is great. Are you guys ready? So you don't have to have it before. You're just going to repeat after me, okay? When I say mean it. All right, ready? I nailed it. Pledge to be a junior ranger for the city of Milton.
Pledge to be a junior ranger for the city of Milton.
I'll explore the parks, streets, and local places.
I'll explore parks, streets, and local places.
I promise to keep our city clean and green.
Promise to keep our city clean and green.
I'll use my senses to observe and listen.
I'll use my senses to observe and listen.
Learning from nature. Creating a community where everyone can share. With this pledge, I take a stand.
With this pledge, I take a stand.
To protect our parks and wilderness land.
Our parks and wilderness land.
Up right there, and we're going to take a photo right in front.
Are we coming down? Are we-
Oh,
There's a lot of people. We'll stay up here.
yeah, it might be better up here. More space. Gosh, I'm bored. Watch the one your desk.
Oh,
So good, so good. I'm missing your hat, I'm not gonna lie. Still love you. This is the cutest one ever.
Very naturey. They'd just be very naturey. Super organic.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Come on over here. I ran again.
Oh, so sweet.
Awesome.
Love that hat.
How long people are allowed to talk?
Right.
It's 5. You're the one. Go, baby. Go. Just go this way.
Congratulations.
It's a great question.
You want to move, Tom? Do we want to move 8B up too?
I got more in store for you, bud. What's that?
It'll probably take 5 minutes to get all programmed. We might as well.
All right. Thank you very much, Jen, and all our junior engineers. Congratulations. Awesome job. Committee reports. Hopewell Baseball.
I'll take this one in Scott's absence. So Hopewell Baseball evaluations for our fall season took place on Sunday, August 8th. And the week following, they took time to do their drafts, get all their teams in order. This Sunday will mark the first day of practices for some of our upper travel teams. And then the 19th practices will officially begin for the baseball season.
Excellent. And numbers good?
I haven't seen any numbers, but I anticipate they're very similar to how they've been in the fall. Definitely good.
Excellent. Eagle Sticks, Allison?
All I know is numbers, I believe, are up from where they were this time last year, which is great. The rec programming, I believe it begins in a few weeks. I should know this because I have one in the program. And still kind of working out, I think, a few logistics with field space, but all is well.
North Georgia, I know they start practices on Monday in earnest. And I know that the numbers are pretty solid across, typical of last fall as well. So everything's full steam ahead for the fall. NAFL, Stephanie's not here.
I can take NFL as well. So NFL practice started well before our other recreation sports during the fall season. They kicked off July 22nd with practices at Bell and Legacy Park. Their jamboree this season is actually coming up on Saturday, the 17th, taking place at Bell Memorial from about 8 to 5 p.m. So we're expecting get that park back alive for the fall season starting Saturday. And then their games are immediately to follow the next weekend on the 24th.
Halftime?
Not much, but the fall development league starts next weekend. It runs through October 5th at the new Shoot 360. And Mr. Kim Coleman, welcome to grandbaby. So if you guys could.
For him. Swim team.
Thankfully, no updates till February. So.
Tennis.
There's really no update. It's same status quo.
Yep.
Yeah, summer league wrapping up as we speak and going right into fall over at the Milton Tennis Center.
Very good. Arts and adult programming. I think those are all in one, right?
It's me.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we're just finishing up our summer programming, and we're starting our fall our fall programming. And that's all I got really. But yeah, just trying to get some registration numbers up for our upcoming fall programs.
Excellent. Camp Joyful Souls wrapped up here on that end.
I'll touch on art programming, on adult programming first. Rush Union Adult Soccer League just completed their summer season last week on Wednesday. They're taking a break in preparation for the fall season, which kicks off September 9th. So they'll be ready to go here in a few weeks. Camp Joyful Souls, no update there. Great summer, and looking forward to another one.
Summer day camp.
Y'all should have seen on the last day. I was there at camp from about 20 minutes before checkout until all the kids were checked out, and we have a lot of kids that are aging out, and the tears from not just the families, but the counselors.
Oh,
It was even Blake was just like waterworks, man. That camp touches so many families in such
That's
great
great.
ways. It's awesome. So we're thankful for all the hard work that Thomas and that team put together.
Excellent.
yes.
I got so excited about Camp Joyful Souls, I failed to mention our Adult Petanque League kicks off in September. So we're doing our introductory to petanque. It'll be a Tuesday, Thursday class beginning September 10th. So we're looking for more registrations there. We've had a few, but we're really trying to get some more adults to introduce to that program. Just go have some fun in the back of the parking lot over at Bell Park.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'll go ahead for the summer camp. It was a second great year of summer camp. We had 345 total campers for the total 7 weeks. But yeah, we're just kind of looking. We just had our post meeting last week, and we're just looking to add some more creative and some more creative and some exciting ideas for next year. So.
Awesome. And is that number up? 345. What was it last year?
It was a little bit below just because the first couple of weeks we set the limit like to 40 kids, and then we realized that we could do more.
Got it.
So
So,
yeah.
awesome. And then outdoor recreation. So you've been busy with
Well,
Junior
you saw
Ranger.
my latest update.
Yep.
The only other thing I have is tomorrow DNR is going to be stocking the Mayfield Pond with catfish and MCPP, both the ponds there. We have a little junior ranger that's feeding the fish at Mayfield every day for us. That community is supporting him. He's so cute. He came out yesterday to get the fish food. Very, very committed. So I appreciate that. He lives right behind the pond, so it's
That's awesome.
perfect. And then they'll also be stocking it with bass, the Mayfield Pond. We got lucky.
And how did our river rafting
I'm sorry.
camp go? The river raft
Oh,
or whatever, that summer
Thank
camp?
you. I'm so sorry.
That one always, I'm interested in. That
Huge.
one, probably because I was.
Yeah.
I've
You would have
done-
done that one. Jason would have signed
Or
up for that.
sent my kids
Oh, yeah.
when they were younger.
Yeah, so the first session, all boys, all boy time. They were living their best life on that water. And then the second session were the younger group. There was the classic Chattahoochee shutdown in the middle, or like at the beginning of it, but I was super appreciative. NOC pivoted. They took them whitewater rafting. So that was a special treat, and it was epic. The kids came back and were like, yeah, that again? We're doing that again, right? And I was like, let me talk to George, and I'm sure we can work that out for next year. So they got a taste of it. We kind of tried to pivot really quickly because adults were reaching out like, hey, how do we do this? But it's just, August is tough, for adults. So I think there's space where we can take adults on guided trips with NOC. They're all in. They verbally committed to me next year. So I think we can even beef it up. And I can bring you a presentation of a 3-day overnight where they live their best life. Yeah.
Excellent. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you for asking about it.
All right. Under new business, consideration of a new partnership between Balanced Kids.
Yeah.
What do we got?
So you met George, Virgo. Now, drum roll, the better half. Anna. She is running a awesome program to teach kids to ride bikes and improve their skill sets. And I love that it's working with kids that are preschool age too. As someone who's teaching an 8-year-old to ride a bike right now, I told Anna, I was like, yes, there's other people who feel like me. So your services are very much needed in Milton. I'll let her tell you more about her program and how it would fit. But I just want to say she's plugged in. She's an old Parks and Rec friend from Alpharetta, and we're so excited to have her. So it's you. Yay.
I feel like I'm in the right spot with all the bicycles. I
Yes.
didn't even plan
Lingering.
that. So I'm Anna Virgo. I run Balance Kids Atlanta. We are an LLC, and when I say we, it's pretty much just me. And my husband helps me teach classes when we have a lot of kids, which happens pretty often, and when he's available. So a little bit about me. I am from the Atlanta area. I currently live in Cumming. I have a background, like you said, in recreation. I worked for our Alpharetta Parks and Rec for about 10 years. And then I tried teaching, but I found myself just being yearned back to being outside with kids in a more active environment. So that is why I'm really trying to grow Balance Kids. I established it in 2018, but it's always just been a side passion project. And now I'm trying to take it one step farther and offer daytime classes and some more weekend classes too. We really got started with Balance Kids when our kids were little. They're 8 and almost 10. He's still 9, but we got a balance bike for them when they were little. And when we transitioned into pedaling, it was just amazing. So we said, we need to share this with other people. So that is how we got started, really, even with the balance bikes. And we actually mountain bike quite a lot. So I had to throw in a picture of my 2 kids mountain biking there too. We're more mountain bikers than we are road bikers.
Yeah, and Oliver smoked those 15-year-olds out on the mountain biking trail this summer, just FYI. Smoked them.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Here's just a brief timeline. In 2016, we were introduced to the balance bike, like I said. 2018, we launched Balance Kids in Alpharetta. And then in 2020, we added Forsyth County. And like I said, this year, we've really decided to grow the program. And once I made that decision, we added 3 weeks of summer camps, 2 at Forsyth and 1 at Alpharetta. And those all were so fun. We tried a different couple variations with like a 1-hour intensive for 4 days and then a 3-hour each day for 4 hours or for 4 days. And both went well. So now I know I have options with summer camps. And then I also, when I was kicking it up a notch, I added Johns Creek, Cherokee County, Duluth, Roswell, and now possibly Milton. So that is where I am heading. Our mission is to instill lifelong skills and confidence that create happy, balanced children. We provide a safe, comfortable, and fun environment for kids, families, and the community to experience the joy of riding a bike. The number 1 rule of bike class is to have fun. There are no tears. There is no pressure. It is literally just for these kids to have fun. And I would say most of the time they really do have a good time. So, and we want to be a part of the community. Right now, I am working really hard on making connections with the community. I just stopped over at Whitetail, going to different bike shops. And so we're moving and grooving. And this is just super cute. You didn't ask for testimonials, but I put one in there anyway. I overheard this little girl talking, so I was like, wait, say it again.
Okay, you can, yeah. Get out of the way. Usually my friends come over with their bikes and scooters, and I usually ride my scooter, but now I'm going to start riding my bike.
Yay! Good job, Ellie. What do you want to say, Lucas?
You want to go say something?
This is the best class ever.
Oh.
You just had to have that.
You can, yeah.
Get out of the way.
Usually my friends
All right. And I send out a survey, just a simple Google form after every clinic or camp or class. And these are just a few that I chose really quickly of some of the parents that have taken the time to fill out the survey and just say how thankful that they were for our program. Because like Jen said, some of these parents have tried everything. And sometimes it just takes another adult and a bunch of other kids in a really fun environment to get them going and build that confidence. So my proposal, you hand them out? I did. Okay, so that is just what I turned into Jen too. So we have been doing one-time clinics. That's our signature class. We've been doing those since 2018 and we've got those dialed in, but we want to grow it. So we are stepping into the ages 2 to 5. A lot of parents say, but I want my younger sibling to be able, or their younger sibling to be able to do it. So we're trying to learn to ride preschool classes during the week. And then the preschool bike club is for kids that are already balance biking. I've seen a lot of kids that already know what they're doing. And I wish that I had this when my kids were little, just a bunch of other little kids to ride around on their balance bikes with. We can add those pedals when they're ready, but really it's just a fun group for the moms and dads or caretakers and the kids to get together. And then future program possibilities or additional 4-week sessions or possibly camps like I was mentioning earlier. You all have the proposal document, so I won't open that. And that's all I got. You can link to our website, our Instagram and Facebook. I am trying to grow those. Facebook has been around, well, my account since 2020 probably. So I have good following there. Instagram's still new-ish. So that is a goal of mine, is to try and grow that. And the website is up with all the classes on all of our other locations. So if you wanted to check those out, you can see kind of what we're doing in other locations.
Where would you propose that we would do these classes and clinics? Is there a spot?
The preserve, the Milton.
Yep. Yeah, we
The
talked
pool.
about the parking lot
Yeah.
over in that area because it stays pretty empty during the day. So it'd be a safe space to do it.
There's a spot up at the top that's pretty flat that I think would be good. Like when you first pull in the parking lot to the right, and then at Bell too, that parking lot's really nice.
Yeah.
So, but I know that one's a lot more busy. So either
I
one
know there was
could be
also
an
this. Am I about to say?
Go
what
ahead.
you were gonna say there was discussion that the trail at MCPP, the kids under 12 and under can ride their bikes on that trail anyway, and so that could be part of the class or at the end or whatever.
Yes.
They could go for a bike ride down the trail.
Cool.
I would
That's
love
my
to do,
goal.
like
'Cause
a bike skills where we go on bike rides, that sort of thing too.
yeah, and my concern with Bell is sending the wrong message.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
try
that's
not
right.
to have bikes
That's
in
what we
Bell,
talked
so
about,
we don't want to send the message.
Sure.
Learn here, but don't ride here. And Anna and I talked, she's like, it's good to teach them where they're in their environment. They'll come back and try it.
I forgot they can't ride bikes there. So
Yeah.
that preserve parking lot is going to be the best.
Yeah.
Cool.
Any other questions for him?
And then,
Yeah.
do they do you said when they go on, is it just exclusively on the balance bike, or do you put the pedals, or do they?
The goal is to add the pedals. So
Got
we
it.
start with the balance first, and then we add the pedals when they're ready. Yep, that's the end goal.
Do you provide the bikes or they bring their own?
A lot of times they bring their own,
Sure.
but I always have extra. So you should see my garage. We find them off of Facebook Marketplace. We're like, oh, that's a good deal. Buy it. So we have plenty of bikes. And when we do registration, I like to know if they're planning on bringing their bike. A lot of times they just buy the cheap ones from Walmart or Target, and we throw them on ours, and they have a much better experience. But yeah, we have a pedal wrench. We take the pedals off, put them back on, do all the things. They just need to bring a helmet. We don't provide helmets.
Excellent.
Do you offer like, I have 3 kids, so do you offer like a group discount, for bringing all 3 of my kids?
Oh,
or-
yeah, like a multi-family
Yeah.
discount?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that's something that we can talk about. When I worked for
We can.
Aqua, it was an automatic 10% discount. So
It's definitely something we
to
can
do
just explore if that's.
Yep.
Am I wrong, Tom?
help parents out.
It's certainly
Yeah,
some of our
it's
programs do
feasible.
offer it. It's a program by program decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be fine to do that.
Yeah, there's your first 3 kids.
Yeah, no, yeah, seriously. I'm being serious.
Just like, for example, if I have 3 kids.
100% serious.
Yeah, I'd be happy to offer discounts. And we talked about staff discounts too. I'd be fine to help people out.
Another question. Are the parents actively involved? Like, are we? No. Okay. So just hands off. Oh, okay.
We ask them to stay around just so the kids can go and grab a sip of water or some emotional support if they need it. But for the most part, I tell them, I send an email before class, let them remind them everything they need to bring. Also recommend a camp chair so they can sit in the shade and relax, which kind of tells them like, we want you here, but we want you over there. It just is helpful. Mhm.
Awesome.
Yep. Good question.
Excellent. Other questions?
Are we looking for a motion?
Yes, we'll take a motion.
I move to proceed with a relationship with Balanced Kids Atlanta.
I'll second.
All right, we got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Huh? So moved. Thank you. Appreciate it. Looking
Thank
forward
you,
to
guys.
it.
Thank you.
See ya.
It'll be a good addition.
Great. I love that. Different. Very cool.
All right, new business item C, discussion of rec programs travel team, residency requirements.
All right, I'm going to take this one. Just give me one moment. There we go. I can see now. All right. Okay, so here's where we are. In our program provider contracts, we have a section pertaining to travel teams and their formation and the requirements that they have to make per team. The purpose of this agenda item is honestly more housekeeping than anything else. This advanced level team section of the program provider contract has been the same since I came on board with the city. And so we're going to be putting new program provider contracts together this year for all of our programs, and they're all going to go in front of council again. And I wanted to just kick this idea of looking at it down the, I wanted to set the table today. I don't expect any decisions to be made. I want to have the program providers to definitely be able to have some input on this too. And I'm going to encourage any of our liaisons that have advanced level teams to talk to the programs as to how we can help them, but still ensure that we're having residents on these travel programs, right? So right now, the advanced level requirement is 50% of the team has to reside in Milton. It's pretty simple. It's nothing to it.
Is there a question just to that? Is it, if I have multiple teams, is it 50% of each team?
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Not
So if you have
50% of all.
If you have two teams in one age group, it's each team
Has to be 50%.
the roster of each team has to be 50%. I did have a conversation with the baseball program last week, and I've been thinking about just some other potential ideas, and maybe we don't change anything, but I feel like policies should be looked at every once in a while. So if someone says, "Well, how long has it been this?" Well, it's been like this since 2014 or whatever,
Mhm.
but we looked at it in 2024, and we still decided to keep it the same, or that's when we made this little minor change or whatever it may be. So, one example could be, instead of saying a percentage, maybe we list out all the different sports or activities and have a minimum number per team. Instead of, for instance, baseball is usually a roster of, between 11 and 13. Well, we say, okay, you must have 5 or you must have 6. So then, sometimes you get like this balancing act of 50%. Well, we got to cut this kid just so we can make it 50%, but maybe the kid really belonged on a team. Or, in my days with the city of Alpharetta, when I ran travel soccer, teams would blow up and you would lose 5 residents of Alpharetta at the time because of the residency. So now you got 5 kids that are residing in your city. Well, now they're going somewhere else to play. So you're, in a way, losing kids. Now we're kind of hamstrung for capacity at the moment with field space in all of our active sports that do have advanced level teams. But another option could be, okay, maybe you lower the percentage a little bit per team, but then maybe you could perhaps up the overall percentage for the program. Say, okay, well, if it's 50% per team now, what if we made it 40% per team, but the entire whole program of lacrosse or baseball or whatever has to be 60%? Gets a little tricky because you might have different coaches picking teams, and it's like, well, you have to take 80% because I took 20% or the minimum, whatever it may be. Gets tricky, but I wanted to just kind of kick that idea around of, is there a better way we could potentially do advanced level teams? Maybe the answer is no, but I wanted to look at it. Thomas, anything to add? Not to throw you on the spot. Is there?
Question, are we enforcing this now?
It's in the contract, yes.
So this language is currently in there, the 50%
Yep.
residents.
It is.
Okay.
Historically, has this been like an issue with teams like maximizing the percentages, or is just kind of like you say, we're just taking a look at it?
It has been an issue before. It's not a overwhelming problem. Usually usually the problem the issue is usually they send us the rosters after the team's already been formed. And we're like, hey, that person doesn't live in Milton. That address is actually Cherokee County or Alpharetta or whatever it may be. And then the team scrambles to find another resident, just to balance it out. So yeah, it's.
But all these non-residents and all the programs are in fact paying the non-resident fee, correct? When they do sign on.
If the program provider takes the registration, it's upon the program provider to also collect that non-resident fee. They are billed for the non-resident fee. So if Hopewell Baseball doesn't charge the non-resident fee for somebody, they still get billed the non-resident fee from the city on the invoice for the season.
Okay.
So it's upon them
whether
to
or not they're
recoup that
passing
money.
it on to the
Yes.
athlete. Okay, got it.
Exactly.
Got it.
So you don't need a motion from us, just more of a
Not today.
consideration.
I just wanted
Start
to
noodling
formally start the conversation and put it on an agenda. We're going to be inviting all the programs next month to the meeting. But like I said, I would encourage the board to definitely, as their liaison, pick their brains on what's working, what's not, or if there's anything to change.
Yeah.
So it's primarily basketball, lacrosse, women's lacrosse, girls lacrosse, and
Baseball.
baseball that are the three that have impacts, right?
Football doesn't have advanced level.
And neither does boys lacrosse, not run out of there.
No tennis. Yep, it's just those.
Just those three.
Okay.
Any other questions before we move on?
No.
Okay.
On to the heat policy.
Okay, so this is called the heat policy because that's the policy we actually have. However, what we're looking to do is potentially expand this policy and almost just amend it to be more of an extreme weather policy or something along those lines. Where right now we have this heat policy, this heat index policy, but then when you go to like cold weather, it only lives inside the program provider agreements, right? So how do we enforce for everybody? Like, okay, look, it's too cold, or putting the lightning policy and thunderstorm policy into and make it all encompassing for hot, cold, or any sort of Mother Nature issues, right? Again, not looking for a motion today, but right now
The heat policy we did last year, right?
the heat policy was done last year. Yes, it was more or less revised
Right.
from the program provider agreement. We've
Yep.
updated, and then now we're going to try to do the cold weather as well before we do the new revised program provider agreements. So, for instance, right now our cold weather policy is literally a paragraph and a half. If the weather.com forecast is 38 degrees or lower, it's recommended that a scheduled event be canceled. And if it reaches 32 or below, it's mandatory.
So this is new language, or this
This is what's in the program provider
is
agreements.
what's currently, okay, in the, okay, got it.
Yes. Now, we all know, some sports certainly can play in colder weather than that, especially if you're talking games or practice, maybe you cancel. But, there's some opportunities here. And then the other factor that comes in is, age, right? Some sports, the younger kids might not play, but the older kids probably could. Do you want to do a sliding scale or wind chill? It might be 34 degrees, but the wind's blowing 30 miles an hour and it feels like 20, There's a lot of factors that we should probably think about too as we form this policy. I don't think it's very black and white.
So, go ahead.
I was just going to say, do any neighboring cities with bigger programs have any policies, procedures that we could build off of? Or, who's the expert here? Because I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Schools
think you're
already have a policy.
So,
Yeah. So City of Alpharetta has a policy, and theirs is weather.com, forecasted to be 30 or lower at the time of the practice or game. It's recommended. 25 is canceled. So similar to our policy,
But lower.
but with less restrictions on the degrees of temperature.
so that would, Fulton County Schools has a very comprehensive one, which adds in rain, and there's a nice little chart that if it's 32 and dry, you can go. If it's 32 and raining, and it gets to the,
wind too.
it factors in the wind, and then it also factors in how long you can go.
Yep.
Right? So
Correct.
they can say you can go at this temperature, you can be outside for 35 minutes, and then you have to be inside for 15 before you can go back out again. And so I would say that with some type of consideration for age, right? Like I think there's a pretty comprehensive, and I don't know if we want to be that comprehensive, but it's pretty comprehensive. We just may want to adjust a little bit because to your point, if there's a second grader out there, my high school kid can probably handle 30 degrees better than my second grader, right?
It's like, I don't want to hamstring anybody, but also don't want to put us, the city in a position of liability that we don't need to be putting ourselves into, so.
And I think the way they have it too, I mean, it's with it, it gets to the point where you can be out for 15 minutes, then you got to be in for 15 minutes. And most people are just like, we're going to call it there.
Yeah,
because
okay. I mean,
it's not worth the
It's
time getting back and
complicated.
forth between the gym
Yeah.
and that, right?
and we're in a different situation at our parks too.
Yes, that you can't do that, right? But that would be my recommendation because that's a very comprehensive one. That there's a little chart that tells you where you're in the green and red and the whole
Okay.
thing.
Why don't we do this? Why doesn't staff try to draft something up using a little bit of what we have and a little bit of what Fulton County has
Mhm.
put together, and we'll send it out like 2 weeks before the next meeting. So give us a couple weeks,
Sounds great.
and we'll do a draft. You can review it, and then individually you can send back maybe some recommendations, and then we'll compile something for the next meeting.
And I do like the idea of adding in the weather policy to make this one, one weather policy, right?
Yeah.
Has the heat, has that. I think the lightning policy is pretty
Yeah,
straightforward.
the
If
pool's
the
a little easier.
if the
to-
siren goes off, get off the field until it goes off again, right?
Probably not gonna
But
install those lightning detectors everywhere, but we obviously have an
We have a
easy
couple.
solution at the pool.
Yes. Yeah, that's at the pool, Legacy Park, and Bell Memorial.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, I didn't realize.
so I guess it goes to the other potential areas that we'd be outside.
Correct.
But I like the idea of putting one formal document with everything
Right,
included.
Extreme weather.
Yep,
Okay.
policy.
excellent.
Clear direction there. I think we're good. Thank you. We'll be back next month with more.
Perfect. Staff reports, Hall of Fame.
I'll take that one. So I'm proud to say that there are 3 inductees this year for the 2024 Wall of Fame ceremony. Unfortunately, I can't release their names at this time. They haven't all been contacted, so I don't want any spoilers. But as soon as I do talk to them, I can give you guys a little sneak peek, but I will plan on, releasing that information at our next meeting in September. Right now, we're looking at October 26th. It's a Saturday for the Wall of Fame ceremony this year. It gives us maybe a week if there's any inclement weather, but we're currently looking at the 26th of October for the ceremony.
Excellent. Awesome. Legacy Park parking lot.
Okay, this goes hand in hand, actually, as a matter of fact, with the Milton City Park and Preserve parking lot, tennis courts, and playground. Both, so the bids, the RFP was released, we got them back in, and it's for Legacy Park design and the MCPP design as well. Those are due, I'm on the evaluation team, so those are due next week. And then from there, we should have a winner for that, and then it will go in front of council. Our project timeline has that for a September meeting for that contract to kick off, and they'll begin design. So it is still in motion and moving.
Where's the playground?
Where is the playground?
Where's the playground?
That's part of the design. We don't know for
So there'll
sure.
be a lot of.
It'll be
input
behind.
on that.
Yes. Yes, we'll have input. It'll be somewhere on the backside of the building.
But outside of typical where the staging is for swim team stuff.
Yes, that'll be part of the discussion, but yeah, I don't see it to be like on the flat area there.
Okay.
Any other questions on that one for staff?
So September to council, they start pretty
They'll
quick.
they'll start very shortly after. Yes,
And
and
do we have-
depending on I haven't read them all yet, but depending on the firm that's chosen, it will, their timelines are all. It's part of the proposal. Is what's your estimated time to get it done?
Well,
So
What is that roughly? Have you seen any of them? I mean, is it?
the ones that I saw were long.
will
Got
Milton City Park and Preserve one, will that also, or will this be separate, an awning over
That's separate.
that's separate? Okay.
Yes, yes. The on the side of the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a separate project. It's not part of that.
Okay, cool.
Have to wait for the pool to close.
And the Deerfield Active Park update?
Okay, we did officially close on the property, July 24th on Deerfield. Prior to that closing, staff had already started preparations, running parallel tracks to get the bids put out for the design service for the park. It's currently open and closes in a week. So we'll get those bids in and then we'll do exactly what we are doing right now for the parking lot at Legacy. And we're going to have an evaluation team score those as well. And then we're probably on a pretty close timeline as well for that contract as well, shooting for September. We are going to be getting a lot of public input as well. I know council, asked that question of staff, can we make sure that we get some more public input on what amenities go at the park? So we're not hamstrung to what the concepts that this board saw last month. We're not hamstrung to any of those. That was more of a feasibility study just for us to know we can put a park here with fields and some other amenities. So, there's going to be a lot of input as to what the final, basketball courts, pickleball, playgrounds, how many bathrooms, all those things down the road. And that's going to be part of this design scope.
Do we have a ballpark timeline on that project?
I think design on that is going to be probably 8 months to a year, I would think. They're formulating construction documents out of it for us to be able to bid the construction. And then another year. So you're probably looking at 2 years.
Yeah. Good. My younger two.
What's that?
But my kids will be graduating, but that's okay. My younger two. There's two more. No worries.
Mine too.
Positive progress.
Yes, no, it's good. It's all good. Moving in the right direction. Yep.
Yes.
Other business? We're good?
Hearing none.
All right. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I motion we adjourn.
I will second that
All
motion.
right. Second by Allison. All in favor?
Aye.
We are concluded. Thank you very much.
Anybody who wants to go hear some country music?